Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. Either they're living in a fair or it's very shy. I'm not quite sure what to do. Could we rumble you? Okay, all right. Oh, shit. Either they're living in a fair or it's very shy. Either they're living in a fair or it's very shy.
Several years married, 2 kids, a 6-figure salary, a beautiful home, gone, in 30 seconds, on a jumbotron, in front of 65,000 people and millions more online. Somewhere, a woman who had spent that evening lost in the quiet routine of a long marriage watched her life collapse online as strangers turned her heartbreak into entertainment. Hey, Phoenix community, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you clicked on this video, I'm guessing it's because something about that moment resonated with you. Maybe you saw yourself in it, not as the couple on the screen, but as the person at home whose world just fell apart. Maybe you're trying to understand how someone throws away decades for a moment. Maybe you're looking for answers about why this happens, how to prevent it, or if it's already happened to you, how in the world you survive it. Here's what I need you to know before we go any further. This isn't a gossip session. This isn't about judging anyone. This is about understanding human behavior so we can protect ourselves, heal ourselves, and transform ourselves. Phoenix, that's what we do here. We don't just survive the fire, we rise from it. Today, we're diving deep into something that affects 60 to 70% of all marriages at some point. 60 to 70%. That means if you're married or you've been married, statistically, you or your partner will face this, either as the person betrayed or the person who betrayed. We're going to talk about why this happens after 25 years of marriage. We're going to connect it to what's happening in midlife, especially during the menopause transition. We're going to look at the warning signs you need to know. And most importantly, if you're the woman standing in the wreckage right now, we're going to talk about how you rise, not just survive. Rise. If you want the books I'm referencing today, resources written by relationship experts who've worked with thousands of couples through exactly this situation. The links are in the first pinned comment. They're powerful tools for understanding and healing. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about the thing nobody wants to talk about, but everybody needs to understand. Why this happens after 25 years. The perfect storm. Okay, so here's the question everyone's asking. How does someone with everything to lose, good marriage, kids, financial security, reputation, risk it all? And the answer is going to surprise you. Because here's what the research shows. Most long-term affairs don't happen because the marriage is terrible. They happen because something shifts in midlife that creates a perfect storm of vulnerability. Let me break this down for you. The age and stage that changes everything. There's a pattern that relationship experts see over and over in their practices. The highest risk time for infidelity in long-term marriages is between year 20 and year 25, which typically coincides with ages 48 to 55. Why? Because this is when everything collides at once. For women in this age range, you're dealing with perimenopause or menopause, hormones going haywire, kids leaving or about to leave, empty nest approaching, identity crisis, who am I if I'm not mom anymore, body changes, weight gain, aging, feeling invisible, career peak or reassessment. Is this it? The big question. Do I really want the next 30 years to look like the last 25? For men in this age range, midlife crisis territory, and yes, it's real. Fear of aging and mortality becoming very real. Career pressure at its peak or disappointment if they didn't make it. Physical changes, weight, hair loss, energy declining. Feeling invisible or taken for granted at home. The same big question, is this all there is? And for the marriage itself at this stage, 20 to 25 years of accumulation accumulated small resentments, transition from being parents to being partners again. If you even remember how sexual intimacy that's become routine or non-existent, the shocking realization that you might have 30 or 40 more years together, the question, do I want that with this person? Like this? This is the perfect storm, Phoenix. And statistics back this up. Studies show that the risk of infidelity increases significantly during midlife transition, with the highest rates occurring in the 20 to 25-year marriage mark. What actually happens? The slow fade nobody talks about. Here's the thing people don't understand about long-term affairs. They don't happen overnight. They happen after years of slow disconnection. Let me paint you a picture of how this typically unfolds. Years 1 through 5. Everything's exciting. You're building a life together. You're dreaming together. You're having adventures. You're still dating each other even within the marriage. You talk for hours. You can't keep your hands off each other. Years 6 through 12. Children arrive or careers intensify or both. Your conversations shift. They become about logistics. Who's picking up the kids? Did you pay the mortgage? What's for dinner tonight? Don't forget the dentist appointment tomorrow. You're functioning. You're parenting. You're managing a household. But somewhere along the way, you stopped being romantic partners and became co-managers of a very complex life. Date nights, they become monthly, then occasional, then they stop. Deep conversations about hopes and dreams, replaced with discussions about whether to refinance the house. Sex, maybe once a week if you're lucky, more often once a month, sometimes less, and it becomes something you do because you should, not because you're burning with desire. Years 13 through 20, you're deep in the routine now, and you're good at it. The machine runs smoothly. Everyone's fed, clothed, scheduled. Bills are paid. Kids are thriving. But here's what's happened that nobody talks about. You've become roommates who occasionally have obligatory sex. One study found that married couples spend an average of just 4 minutes per day in meaningful conversation by year 15 of marriage. 4 minutes. You sleep in the same bed, but you're not truly connected. You eat dinner together, but you're both scrolling your phones. You know each other's schedules, but you don't know each other's hearts anymore. You can predict exactly what they'll say, how they'll react, what they'll want for dinner. There's no mystery, no novelty, no surprise, no spark. Years 20 through 25. This is the danger zone, because by now, the disconnection is profound. But from the outside, everything looks perfect. Nice house, good jobs, kids doing well, still married, which in our culture is treated like an achievement in itself. But inside, one or both people feel profoundly, devastatingly alone, unseen, unheard, undesired, unloved, invisible, second-class citizen. And this, Phoenix, this is where it becomes dangerous. The menopause factor, the game changer nobody prepares you for. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room that connects to everything, menopause. Because what's happening in most of these marriages at the 20 to 25 year mark, the woman is going through perimenopause or menopause. And menopause changes everything about how marriages function. But nobody tells you this. Nobody prepares you. Nobody talks about it. So let me tell you what's really happening. For the woman going through menopause, physically, your body is transforming. Estrogen and testosterone dropping, which affects libido, energy, mood. Vaginal dryness making sex uncomfortable or even painful. Hot flashes and night sweats destroying sleep quality. Weight redistributing to your belly no matter what you eat. Brain fog making it hard to focus or remember things. Fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to fix. Emotionally, you're going through an identity earthquake. Who am I if I'm not fertile anymore? I'm becoming invisible. Society doesn't see women over 50. Mood swings and irritability you can't always control. Decreased tolerance for things you used to accept. A voice emerging inside you that says, I deserve better than this. Deep questions about purpose. What's the second half of my life about? And in your marriage, this shows up as less interest in sex, or sex that feels like one more chore. Feeling disconnected from your own body. Feeling feeling undesirable and invisible to your partner, resentment about carrying the mental load for decades, realizing you've spent 25 years putting everyone else first, wondering, is this really how I want to spend the next 30 years? For the partner watching this transformation, they're experiencing sexual rejection or what feels like rejection, confusion. My wife has changed into someone I don't recognize, loneliness within the marriage, not understanding what's happening or how to help, feeling unwanted and undesired themselves, their own midlife questions about vitality and purpose. And here's where it gets really dangerous. Phoenix. When a marriage doesn't adapt to the menopause transition, when there's no communication, no understanding, no adjustment, the disconnection becomes profound. And that profound disconnection, research shows it's the single greatest predictor of infidelity. Not lack of love, not lack of attraction initially, disconnection. What they're really looking for. Now here's something that professionals who work with thousands of infidelity cases observe over and over, and this is key to understanding what happened on that kiss cam. Most people having affairs aren't looking for another person. They're looking for another version of themselves. Let me say that again, because it's so important. They're not trying to replace their spouse. They're trying to reclaim a lost part of themselves, the version they were before they became the responsible parent, the stressed provider, the person who always puts everyone else first, the person who lost themselves in duty and obligation, the person who stopped feeling young, vital, alive, desired, free. In that moment at the Coldplay concert, you think that CEO was thinking about his wife at home, his kids, his career, the consequences. No. In that moment, he was feeling something he probably hadn't felt in years. Young, desired, alive, free from responsibility, like he mattered for who he is, not just what he does. And that feeling, after 25 years of not feeling it, it's intoxicating. It's addictive. It overrides rational thought. This is what happens in affairs. People chase a feeling, not a person. A feeling of aliveness that has slowly, quietly drained away from their daily life. The workplace factor. Why this pattern is so common. Let's talk specifically about why workplace affairs are so prevalent, because this is exactly what happened in the Coldplay situation. Statistics show that approximately 60% of affairs begin in the workplace. 60%. Why is work so dangerous? Because work creates the perfect conditions for emotional connection, daily proximity. You see this person 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's more time than you spend with your spouse. Shared goals. You're working on projects together, experiencing victories together, solving problems as a team. Intellectual stimulation. You're having engaging conversations about ideas, strategies, challenges. Your brain is alive in these conversations. Admiration. They see you at your professional best, competent, intelligent, successful, in control. They don't see you arguing about whose turn it is to clean the bathroom. Emotional intimacy without baggage. You're sharing stresses, successes, frustrations, becoming emotionally intimate, but they haven't seen you at your worst. They don't have 25 years of resentments built up, feeling valued. They appreciate your contributions, they ask your opinion, they light up when you walk in the room. Now, add in the specific dynamics of power and attraction. For someone in a leadership position, like a CEO, having someone admire their competence, laugh at their jokes, seek their guidance, that's powerful, especially when they're feeling invisible or taken for granted at home. And here's what relationship experts observe. Over 70% of affairs that begin in the workplace start as emotional affairs first. They're not planning to cheat. They're just enjoying the connection, the conversation, the feeling of being seen and valued. Then one day, there's a moment, a look that lasts too long, a touch that lingers, a conversation that crosses a line, and suddenly you're not just colleagues anymore. It doesn't excuse it, but understanding how it happens helps us protect ourselves and our relationships. The statistics that show you're not alone. Before we go further, I need you to hear this. If you're someone who's been betrayed, you are not alone. Your pain is not unique. And weirdly, that's actually comforting. Here are the facts. 60–70% of marriages experience some form of infidelity. That's the majority of marriages, not the minority. For women discovering betrayal in midlife, ages 45–60, approximately 45% will choose to divorce. The average time from discovery to decision about the marriage is 6 to 12 months. Emotional recovery from betrayal takes an average of 2 to 4 years, regardless of whether you stay or leave. Women who divorce after midlife betrayal report improved life satisfaction within 325 years. What this tells us, millions of women have walked this path before you. There is life after this. Healing is possible, and there's no right answer except the one that's right for you. All right, Phoenix, this section might save your marriage, or it might help you recognize what's already happening. Either way, pay attention. What you need to know right now, the warning sign, because research on marriage patterns shows that there are specific, identifiable warning signs that appear before affairs occur, and if you can spot them early, you have a chance to address the disconnection before it becomes betrayal. We can list 7 critical warning signs. Warning sign 1. The roommate dynamic. Ask yourself right now, when was the last time you and your partner had a deep, meaningful conversation about something other than logistic? Not about bills, schedules, kids, house repairs, or what's for dinner. About feelings, dreams, fears, what you're thinking about, what you're struggling with, who you're becoming. If you can't remember, you're in dangerous territory. Research shows that couples in satisfying marriages spend at least 5 hours per week in quality conversation and connection time. Most couples at the 20-year mark spend less than 2 hours. Many spend less than 1. You're living together, functioning together, but you're not truly connected. Warning sign 2. Your best conversations happen elsewhere. Be brutally honest. Do you find yourself more excited to talk to a coworker, friend, or someone else than your partner? Do you share your real feelings, your frustrations, your victories, your inner world with someone else first? Here's what the research shows. Over 70% of physical affairs begin as emotional affairs, where one partner starts confiding in someone else before any physical intimacy occurs. It starts innocently. We're just friends. It's nice to have someone who really listens. They get me in a way my spouse doesn't. And then one day, you realize this person knows more about your inner life than your spouse does. You're emotionally intimate with them, not your partner. That's the warning sign. That's the danger zone. Warning sign 3. Secrets and privacy. Are you or your partner deleting text messages, not mentioning lunches or conversations with certain people, creating passwords the other doesn't know, being vague about whereabouts, hiding phone screens when the other person walks in? Professionals who work with infidelity cases say this consistently. Secrecy is the gateway to infidelity. It always starts with small secrets that seem innocent. I don't need to mention I had lunch with so-and-so. It's no big deal. I'll just delete these texts so they don't worry unnecessarily. I won't mention this conversation. They wouldn't understand. But here's the truth. If it's innocent, why hide it? And if you feel compelled to hide it, what does that tell you? Secrets create distance. Secrecy is where betrayal grows. Warning sign 4. Physical intimacy has died. And I don't just mean sex, though we'll get to that. I mean all physical connection. When's the last time you held hands? When's the last time you kissed? Really kiss? Not a peck on the way out the door? When's the last time you cuddled on the couch just because? When's the last time you touched each other affectionately for no reason? Physical touch is how we stay connected as romantic partners. It's how we feel desired and wanted. When physical touch disappears, emotional distance grows. Now about sex. Research shows that couples who have sex less than once a month are at significantly higher risk for infidelity, not because sex is everything, but because the lack of physical connection usually signals deeper emotional disconnection. And during menopause, this becomes complicated because her libido might be declining. Sex might be uncomfortable. She might feel disconnected from her body. If you're not talking about this, if you're not adapting together, if one person is feeling rejected and the other is feeling pressured, this creates massive vulnerability. Warning. Sign 5. Contempt has replaced kindness. How do you speak about your partner to other people? How do you speak to your partner? If you or your partner are rolling eyes at things the other says, making sarcastic or cutting remarks, criticizing each other in front of others, feeling annoyed by things that didn't used to bother you, comparing each other unfavorably to other people, using words like always and never. You always do this. You never listen. This is what relationship research identifies as one of the most reliable predictors of relationship failure. When contempt replaces kindness, when criticism replaces compassion, when you view your partner with disdain instead of love, the marriage is in crisis. Warning sign 6. Living parallel lives. You're in the same house, but you're not really together. You have separate interests, separate friends, separate routines, separate worlds. You function like business partners managing a household and raising kids together, not romantic partners building a life together. You coordinate schedules but don't share experiences. Studies show that couples who don't regularly share meaningful activities and interests have significantly higher divorce and infidelity rates, because when you stop sharing life, you stop being partners. You become roommate, or worse, strangers who happen to live together. Warning sign 7. Someone seems more alive away from home. This is the most telling one, Phoenix. Watch for this. If you or your partner lights up when talking about work or hobbies but is flat at home, seems more energized after being away than being home, talks about certain people with unusual enthusiasm or frequency, dresses better for work than for time with you, seems happier, more engaged, more alive anywhere except home, well, this suggests they're getting their emotional needs met elsewhere. They're connecting elsewhere. They're feeling valued and seen elsewhere. And that's when affairs happen. Not because the other person is better, but because being with that other person makes them feel better about themselves. All of these warning signs get amplified during the midlife and menopause transition. Why? Because that's when vulnerability spikes. Additional patterns to watch for specifically in midlife: sudden image changes, dramatic wardrobe update, joining a gym suddenly after years of not exercising, unusual attention to appearance, new cologne or perfume, talking about looking or feeling old, behavioral shift, working late more frequently, more work trips than usual, increased phone or computer privacy, unexplained absences, less engaged in family activities, the grass is greener mentality, talking about what-if scenarios, comparing your life unfavorably to others, sudden dissatisfaction with things that were previously fine, fantasizing about starting over. Questions like, is this all there is? Research shows that approximately 85% of people who have affairs display at least 4 to 5 of these warning signs beforehand. These aren't guarantees, but they're red flags telling you something needs attention. Now, for the woman left standing, this is for you. Okay, Phoenix, now we get to the part that matters most, because maybe you're not watching this worried about your marriage becoming a statistic. Maybe you're watching because you are the statistic. Maybe you're the wife who found out, or you're still finding out piece by devastating piece, or you've known for months and you're trying to figure out what the hell to do now. Maybe when you saw that moment on the kiss cam, you didn't see a couple getting caught. You saw yourself in the devastation, in the betrayal, in the moment when your whole world shattered. This section is for you, beautiful Phoenix. Every word of it, the truth about what you're feeling right now. First, I need to validate every single thing you're feeling. The shock, even if part of you suspected, the confirmation is devastating. Your brain literally cannot process it at first. This is trauma, capital T trauma, the betrayal. It's not just that they were with someone else, it's that every moment they were lying. You were trusting. Every I love you feels like a lie now. Every memory is tainted. The rage, you want to destroy something, their things, them, maybe yourself. This anger is actually protective. It's your psyche trying to shield you from the depth of the pain underneath. The grief, you're mourning multiple losses at once. Not just the marriage, the person you thought your partner was, the life you thought you had, the future you planned, your identity as wife, your sense of reality itself, the obsessive questions. They torture you. When did it start? How long? How often? Where? Did they think about me? Did they laugh about me? What does the other person have that I don't? Was I not pretty enough? Thin enough? Interesting enough? Good enough? Was any of it real? The shame. This might be the worst part. You feel like you should have known, like somehow you failed, like if you'd been different, better, sexier, more patient, more understanding, this wouldn't have happened. Let me stop stop you right there, Phoenix. Listen to me very carefully. This is not your fault. I don't care what problems existed in your marriage. I don't care what you did or didn't do. I don't care if you gained weight during menopause. I don't care if you were depressed. I don't care if you were difficult. I don't care if you said no to sex sometimes. I don't care if you weren't fun anymore. There is no excuse for betrayal. None. If someone was unhappy, they had options. Talk to you, get couples therapy, suggest changes, or leave honestly. But they chose deception. They chose lies. They chose to risk your health, hello, STIs, your mental health, your financial security, your children's stability. That choice, that's on them, not you. You didn't cause this. You couldn't have prevented it if they were determined to make this choice. This is not your fault. Your immediate survival guide. If you're in the acute phase, days or weeks after discovery, here's what you need to do to survive. 1. Get professional support immediately. Not from your couple friends. They'll be forced to choose sides. Not from your kids. They shouldn't carry this burden. Not just from your mom or sister, though their support matters too. You need a therapist who specializes in betrayal trauma. This is different from regular couples counseling. A support group for betrayed partners, online or in person. This community, seriously, come to the comments and share if you feel safe doing so. 2. Take care of your body. I know you can't eat. I know you can't sleep. I know you feel like you're physically coming apart. But your body is in crisis and it needs nutrition, smoothies. If you can't handle solid food, hydration, trauma dehydrates you, sleep. Talk to your doctor about temporary sleep support if you need it. Movement. Even just walking helps process the trauma physically. Your body is not your enemy right now. Your body is trying to keep you alive. 3. Don't make permanent decisions in crisis mode. I know you want to either throw them out immediately or forgive them immediately. Wait. Give yourself at least 3 to 6 months before making permanent decisions about your marriage. Your brain is in trauma mode. You're not thinking clearly. That's normal. That's your brain trying to survive. 4. Protect yourself practically. You need to get tested for STIs. Yes, really, protect your health. Understand your complete financial situation. Copy all important documents. Consult with a divorce attorney even if you're not sure you want to divorce. Know your rights and options. Consider whether you need individual or separate bank accounts. Document everything if you think divorce is likely. 5. Protect your children. Don't share details with them. Don't badmouth their other parent to them. Don't put them in the middle or make them choose sides. Get them therapy if they know something's wrong. Keep their routines as stable as possible. Reassure them they're loved and this isn't their fault. Your marriage might be ending, but they still need both parents. Let's talk honestly about both paths, the 2 paths forward. Phoenix, here's the hard truth. There is no right choice here. There's only the choice that's right for you. Path number 1, trying to rebuild the marriage. Some marriages do survive infidelity. Some even become stronger, though that's the minority. The success rate for rebuilding after infidelity is about 35% if, and this is a big if, both people are fully, completely committed to doing the brutal work required. For this to even have a chance of working, you need these things from your partner: non-negotiable, complete transparency, passwords, whereabouts, everything. Total honesty, no more lies, no trickle truth where you find out more later. Complete cutting off of the affair partner, no contact whatsoever, not even closure. True remorse, not just regret at being caught, but genuine devastation at the pain they caused. Patience with your process, understanding that you'll rage, cry, ask the same questions repeatedly. Willingness to do serious individual and couples therapy for years. Actions that match words, not just saying sorry, but showing they understand the devastation from you if you choose this path. Willingness to eventually work toward forgiveness, not forgetting, but releasing the rage. Ability to see your partner as a flawed human who made terrible choices, not as a monster. Willingness to examine what wasn't working in the marriage, not to blame yourself, but to understand patterns. Commitment to your own therapy to process the trauma. Patience with yourself when you have setback, and you will have setback. Understanding that rebuilding trust takes years, not months. The reality, rebuilding after betrayal, is brutally, devastatingly hard. If your partner is defensive, if they minimize what happened, if they they blame you, if they want to just move on without doing the work, this will not work. If you find that every time you look at them you feel disgust, if you cannot release the rage even with therapy and time, if the images torture you constantly, this might not work. But if both people are truly willing to do the painful work, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, the marriage that emerges is actually more honest and connected than what existed before. Path number 2, choosing yourself and leaving. Many women choose to leave, and contrary to what you might fear, many of them report being happier afterward. Research shows that women who divorce after infidelity report significantly higher life satisfaction within 3 to 5 years than women who stay in marriages that never fully heal. Choosing to leave means accepting that it's over, not because you didn't try hard enough, not because you failed, but because trust is broken beyond your capacity or willingness to repair it, or because you realize you don't want to do the work of rebuilding with this person. Getting practical, consulting with a divorce attorney to understand your rights and options, understanding your financial situation completely, making a plan for housing, income, health insurance, preparing emotionally for the process, grieving what you're losing. Even if leaving is absolutely the right choice, you're still losing things: the identity of being married, the future you planned together, possibly some financial security, daily involvement with your kids if custody is shared, the dream of growing old together, the life you built. This grief is real and valid, even when leaving is the right choice. Building your new life. And this Phoenix, this is where the transformation begins. Because what leaving gives you, what choosing yourself gives you, is something you might not have had in years or maybe ever. Freedom to become who you actually are. Not who you had to be to keep the peace. Not who you had to be to make the marriage work. Not who you molded yourself into to meet everyone else's need. You, your authentic, powerful, fully alive self. All right, Phoenix, this is where we talk about rising, because that's what this community is about. We don't just survive. We don't just get through it. We transform. We rise from the ashes stronger, clearer, more powerful than before. If you're the woman standing in the wreckage of betrayal right now, whether you're staying or leaving, here's how you rise. Your transformation guide, the Phoenix Rising. Step 1, reclaim your identity. For 20, 25 years, maybe longer, you've been defined by your relationships. Wife, mom, his partner, the woman behind the successful man. But who are you? Not who are you in relation to someone else. Who are you as a standalone, complete person? This betrayal, as devastating as it is actually giving you something. The opportunity to rediscover or reinvent yourself. The Phoenix Identity Practice. Get a journal. Create space to be alone with yourself and answer these questions. Who was I before I got married? What did I love? What lit me up? What parts of myself did I abandon or dim to fit into this relationship? What dreams did I shelve because they weren't practical or didn't fit the life we were building? What would I do? Who would I be if I wasn't afraid of judgment? Who do I want to become in this second half of my life? One woman described it like this: betrayal broke me wide open, and in that brokenness, in those cracks, light got in. I discovered parts of myself I'd forgotten existed. The adventurous part, the creative part, the part that wanted more from life than just being someone's wife and someone's mother. Step 2, build your Phoenix Circle. You cannot heal in isolation. You cannot rise alone. You need your people, your tribe, your Phoenix Circle who will hold space for all of it. The rage, the grief, the confusion, the moments of strength, the moments of complete collapse. Not people who will tell you what to do. Not people who will judge your choices. Not people who will try to fix you. People who will just be with you in whatever you're feeling. Where to find them? Therapy with someone who specializes in betrayal trauma. Support groups, in person or online, for betrayed partners. Online communities like this Phoenix community. Share in the comments if you feel safe. That one friend who doesn't need you to be okay, who can sit with you in the mess. Because here's the truth. Shame wants you isolated. Shame wants you hiding. Shame wants you thinking you're the only one, but you're not alone. There are millions of us, and when we share our stories, we give each other permission to heal, to be messy, to take our time, to rise in our own way. Step 3. Reconnect with your body. Betrayal does something terrible to how you feel about your body. You might feel like your body failed you, wasn't young enough, thin enough, attractive enough to keep your partner interested. You might feel completely disconnected from your body, numb or hyper-aware. Neither feels good. You might feel like your body betrayed you because you didn't sense what was happening. Phoenix, listen to me. Your body is not the problem. Your body is not your enemy. Your body is your home, and it's time to come back home. The body reconnection practice. Start small and gentle. Movement, not punishment. Exercise. Movement that feels good. Walking in nature. Dancing in your kitchen. Gentle yoga. Swimming. Whatever makes your body feel alive, not exhausted. Touch. Get a massage. Take long baths. Use lotion that feels luxurious. Hug people you trust. Your body needs safe, nurturing touch. Breathwork. Deep belly breathing calms your nervous system. 4 counts in through your nose. Hold for 4. 6 counts out through your mouth. Do this for 5 minutes when the anxiety feels overwhelming. Nourishment. Eat foods that make you feel good, not as punishment or reward. Your body needs fuel to heal from trauma. Rest. Your body is processing massive trauma. It needs sleep. It needs rest. Give yourself permission to rest without guilt. Over time, and it takes time, Phoenix, you'll reconnect with your body. You'll start to feel at home in yourself again. Step 4. Reclaim your sexuality when you're ready. I know this might seem impossible right now. If your partner betrayed you sexually, the idea of being sexual again might make you feel sick. But here's what women who heal from this report. Eventually, you reclaim your sexuality for yourself, not for a partner, not to prove anything, but because sexuality is part of being fully alive. And here's the beautiful secret that women in their 50s and beyond discover. Many report having the best sex of their lives after betrayal and divorce. Why? Because finally, they're exploring sexuality for themselves, because they know what they want and they're not afraid to ask for it, because they're not performing or people-pleasing, because they're choosing partners who truly desire them and treat them well, because they have nothing to prove and everything to experience. One woman in our community said it perfectly. I spent 25 years having sex to keep my husband happy, to keep him from straying, to be the good wife. After divorce, I discovered what I actually liked, what felt good to me, and oh my God, I've never felt more alive, more powerful, more free in my body. This doesn't mean you need to rush into dating or sex, not at all. This is about knowing that your sexual life is not over. If anything, it might just be beginning. Step 5. Design your new life vision. Right now, your future probably feels empty, or terrifying, or both. Everything you planned, growing old together, retirement together, grandchildren together, all of it feels like it's been ripped away. But Phoenix, what if, and I know this is hard to imagine right now, what if this betrayal is actually setting you free to create a life you actually want instead of the life you settled for? The vision practice. I want you to do something with me. Close your eyes if you're in a safe place to do so. Take a deep breath. Now imagine, it's 5 years from now. You've healed, you've rebuilt, you've risen. What does your life look like? Where do you live? Is it the same house or somewhere new? A different city? What does your space feel like? What do you do? Same career or something different? Did you start that business you always dreamed about? Go back to school? Pursue that creative passion? What do your days look like? How do you spend your mornings, your evening? Who are your people? What do your friendships look like? Your community? What brings you joy? What adventures have you had? What have you discovered about yourself? Are you in a relationship? If so, what does it feel like? Or are you gloriously single and loving it? Who have you become? Write it all down, every detail. Make it vivid and real and beautiful. This is your North Star. This is where you're heading. This is your future self calling you forward. Step 6. Find meaning in the pain. This is the hardest step, Phoenix, and you might not be ready for it yet. That's completely okay. There's no timeline for this, but eventually, maybe months from now, maybe years, you'll need to find meaning in what happened. happened. Not everything happens for a reason. I don't believe that toxic positivity, not it was meant to be. No, betrayal is a choice someone made, not blessing in disguise. It's a devastating experience that you didn't deserve, but meaning, purpose, transformation. Questions that help when you're ready. What is this pain teaching me about myself? How am I stronger because I survived this? What needed to end so something new could begin? Who am I becoming through this fire? How can I use this experience to help other women going through it? Many women in this community report that betrayal and divorce, as devastating as it was, ultimately led them to lives they love more than their old lives. Not because betrayal was good, it wasn't. Not because they're glad it happened, they're not, but because they used the pain as a catalyst for complete transformation. One woman said, "I thought my life was over at 52 when he left. 5 years later, I've traveled to places I'd only dreamed about. I started a business I love. I have friendships that nourish my soul. I'm dating someone who treats me like I'm precious. And I'm more myself than I've ever been. I'm not grateful for the betrayal, but I'm grateful for who I became because of it." That can be you, Phoenix. That will be you if you choose it. The menopause connection. Why this is your second spring. Phoenix, I want to bring this full circle back to menopause, because if you're going through betrayal and divorce in your late 40s, 50s, or beyond, you might be feeling like your life is over, like your best years are behind you, like you're too old to start over, like society is done with you. Let me tell you why that's absolutely, completely wrong. The truth about women over 50. In many cultures, particularly in Asian traditions, menopause isn't called the end of anything. It's called second spring. Not the end of vitality, not the beginning of decline, the beginning of a new, powerful phase of life. Western culture tries to convince us that women become invisible after 50, that we're past our prime, that we should fade quietly into the background and make room for younger women. But here's what actual research and women's lived experiences show. Women in their 50s and beyond who embrace their transformation report greater confidence than at any other age in themselves, their choices, their worth, less concern with others' opinions, the freedom of not caring what people think, clearer sense of purpose, knowing what matters and what doesn't. Better sex? Many women report the best sex of their lives after 50. Stronger friendships, deep, authentic connections that nourish the soul, more authentic self-expression, saying what they mean, being who they are, greater life satisfaction overall. Why? What changes after menopause that makes women report feeling more powerful? The hormonal shift. The hormones that kept us in nurture everyone else mode are declining. We're biologically freed up to focus on ourselves, to pursue our own goals, to speak our truth, to prioritize our needs, the no more fucks to give phase. There's a reason women in their 50s and beyond are described as having run out of patience for nonsense. We have, and it's glorious. We're done shrinking ourselves to make others comfortable, being nice instead of honest, putting everyone else first, accepting less than we deserve, staying silent when we should speak, living for approval. The wisdom accumulation. By 50, we've lived, we've learned, we've survived hard things. We know things about life, people, ourselves that can only come from experience. This wisdom is power. Your physical transformation. Yes, menopause brings challenges, hot flashes, weight gain, body changes, all of it. But it also brings something profound. Liberation from the monthly cycle, from fertility concern, from hormones controlling your mood and energy. The menopausal woman is no longer at the mercy of monthly hormonal fluctuation, equipped with decades of life experience, clear about who she is and what she wants, done with people-pleasing, ready to speak her truth, willing to set boundaries, demanding respect, living authentically. And the betrayal you're experiencing, as devastating as it is, it's accelerating this transformation. It's forcing you to choose yourself in ways you maybe never have before. The Phoenix Protocol for Healing Through Menopause. If you're healing from betrayal while navigating menopause, here's your protocol. Physical support. Consider HRT if appropriate. Discuss with your doctor how it might help with mood stability and energy during this crisis. Strength training builds physical strength and mental resilience. Anti-inflammatory nutrition reduces the body's stress response, always with professional orientation. Quality sleep support, absolutely critical for emotional healing. Emotional support, therapy specializing in both betrayal trauma and midlife transition. Support groups with other women going through similar experiences. Journaling to process the complex emotion. Creative expression, art, music, writing, whatever lets the emotions move through you. Spiritual, existential support, finding meaning and purpose in this transition. Connecting with something larger than yourself, nature, spirituality, community. Creating rituals to mark endings and beginning. Building community with women who understand your future, dating, relationships, and beyond. Many women ask me, will anyone want me at 50-something, divorced, with kids, with baggage, with a body that doesn't look like it did at 30? Phoenix, let me answer that clearly. Yes, absolutely yes. But more importantly, do you want that? Because that's the only question that actually matters. If you do want to date eventually, here's the reality. Women in their 50s and 60s who date report more satisfying relationships than when they were younger. Better sex, they know what they want and they're not afraid to ask for it. Clearer boundaries, they know their deal breakers and non-negotiables. Less tolerance for disrespect, they'll leave at the first red flag. More authentic connections, no more playing games or being someone they're not. Greater confidence, they know their worth. One woman in this community said, dating in my 50s is completely different than dating in my 20s. Back then, I was trying to be what I thought men wanted. Now, I'm completely myself. If they don't like it, there's the door. And you know what? The right ones love it. They love that I know who I am. But here's the beautiful truth. You don't need a relationship to be complete. You don't need a partner to validate your worth. Many women choose to stay single after divorce, and they're thriving. They're traveling, pursuing passions, building businesses, deepening friendships, enjoying their freedom. Your life is not on hold until you find another partner. Your life is happening right now, and it can be extraordinary. Before we close, I want to speak directly to different women who might be watching this. To the woman who just found out, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. Right now you're in shock. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think straight. Everything hurt. You're experiencing trauma. What you need to know, you will survive this. I know you can't believe that right now, but you will. Day by day, hour by hour sometimes, you will get through this. Reach out for support today, not tomorrow. Today, you don't have to do this alone. To the woman who's been trying to decide for months, you're exhausted. You're going in circles. Should you stay? Should you go? How do you know? Here's what I want you to consider. What does your body tell you? When you think about staying and rebuilding, how does your body feel? Hopeful or heavy? When you think about leaving and starting over, how does your body feel? Terrified, but also maybe a little excited or just relieved. Your body knows. Listen to it and give yourself permission to choose you, whatever that choice is. To the woman who's already left and is rebuilding, you're in the middle of it. Some days you feel strong and clear. Other days you collapse in grief. That's normal. Healing isn't linear. What you need to know, every hard day is making you stronger. Every moment you choose yourself is building your new life. Keep going. Your future self is cheering you on. To the woman who's staying and trying to rebuild, this is hard work. Maybe the hardest thing you've ever done. Some people won't understand your choice. They'll judge. They'll question. But this is your life, your marriage, your choice. If both of you are doing the real work, the therapy, the honesty, the changing of patterns, healing is possible. And if it becomes clear it's not working, you can change your mind. Trying to rebuild doesn't lock you in forever. To the daughters, watching their mothers go through this. If you're watching because your mom is going through betrayal and divorce and you want to understand, what she needs from you is not to fix it, not to take sides, not to be her therapist. Just love, support, patience with her process. Understanding that she's not just your mom right now. She's a woman going through transformation. And watch her, because she's showing you what resilience looks like, what rising looks like, what it means to choose yourself even when it's hard. All right, Phoenix community, we've covered a lot today. We talked about why this happened, the perfect storm of midlife, menopause, disconnection, and vulnerability. We looked at the warning signs that appear before affairs occur. We spoke directly to the women standing in the wreckage of betrayal, whether you're staying or leaving, how you rise. We connected it all back to menopause and why this transition, as hard as it is, can actually be your second spring. But I want to close with this. If you're the woman whose life just shattered, whether it was on a kiss cam in front of millions or in private in your bedroom when you found the text messages, you are not broken. You didn't fail. You are not too old. You are not used up. You are not invisible. You are not done. You are a phoenix. And phoenixes don't just survive the fire. We are transformed by it. We rise from the ashes with wings we didn't know we had. This pain you're feeling right now, it's not the end of your story. It's the messy, devastating middle that leads to a chapter you can't even imagine yet. A chapter where you're more yourself than you've ever been. More powerful, more authentic, more free, more alive. The woman you're becoming is worth every hard step of this journey. And you're not walking it alone. This Phoenix community, we're here. Every step, every stumble, every moment of strength, and every moment of collapse, we rise together. What you can do right now, if this resonated with you, leave a comment below. Tell us where you are in your journey. Are you watching because you're afraid it might happen? Because it's happening? Because you're healing? Share as much or as little as you want. This community holds space for all of it. Hit that like button. It tells the algorithm to share this with other women who need it. You might be saving someone's life by helping them find this video. Share this with one woman at least. You know someone who needs this. Your sister, your best friend, that woman in your book club who's been quieter lately. Send it to her. Tell her she's not alone. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we're building something powerful here. A community of women who refuse to be diminished by life's hardest moments, who transform pain into power. If you want more videos on this topic, leave a comment asking for it. Tell us what specific aspects you want us to explore. We'll gather more professional perspectives and dive deeper into this topic because it matters. The books I referenced today, resources written by relationship professionals with decades of experience. Those links are in the first pinned comment if you want to go deeper. One more thing. If you're in crisis right now, if you're not safe, if you're thinking about hurting yourself, please reach out the authorities. You matter. Your life matters. This community needs you. Phoenix, I see you. I honor your pain. I witness your strength. And I believe in your capacity to rise. You've got this, and we've got you. See you in the next video. And hey, thanks for making us company, and remember to take care of yourself.